podcast. I am J. Rob.
I'm Key.
Sugar Hill.
Mr. Hamza.
Mr. Hamza.
Yes.
Okay. Well, before we introduce ourselves, what does Mr. Hamza mean?
It means leadership. And it's my version of the.
Like the male in the group, or
the masculinity to the podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So
because
it's three
that's
females, so I have to.
yeah, because sometimes we definitely be needing a male point of view on certain subjects and topics.
Yeah, it
So-
just means leadership.
A strong leadership.
Strong leadership, definitely.
All right, so obviously, y'all, we are friends from different walks of life. And what we're going to do is we want to have 4 voices, 1 bond, and we're going to have endless stories. So we want to touch on things that's current. We want to touch on things that's past, things that we've experienced, things that we go through. You know, you get the point. And we want to be as authentic as possible. So hope you chime in. Hope you like our podcast. And what's going on, Key?
Nothing.
You just went away. How was your little trip away?
Oh, yeah.
It was good. It was
Good.
good. It was good.
Yeah, because I just learned that St. Martin and St. Martin is 2 different.
Definitely 2 different.
One is a Dutch side
Right.
And one is the French side.
on the French
Yeah.
side. Oh, we.
So you went to the French side?
We went to both.
Oh, you went to both?
Yes.
Oh,
You gotta take a boat.
No, we went to both
No,
sides.
you just
No,
cross
you
over, right?
You just drive.
Yeah, you cross over.
Oh, for some reason I
Okay.
thought you had to take
Yes.
a boat. Oh,
No, you take a boat to St. Bart's.
same bar.
How many days was that?
For the boat?
No, for both sides, to view both sides. How many days
1
was
minute.
you out there?
You go, I was out there for 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That was what's up.
You flew out of North?
Yes. With no problem.
Okay,
With
all
no
right, I
problem.
just put that
She
out
ain't
there.
go
All
out
right,
of
yeah,
And came back with
She ain't go out of
With
track.
no problem.
She bougie according to Jermaine.
Everybody hear
Yeah.
that? North is no problem.
no.
Newark
So-
has
definitely no
All
problem.
right, so let's.
Even the head of the of United said it that we are good now. So,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well.
but
I
personally, I try to be the first one to fly out and the first one to come back. Just saying.
Yes.
Steph,
Indeed.
Steph is a school teacher. Steph,
Absolutely.
you're about to be out of here in a minute.
10 days, 10 days, and I am a free bird. Osby free master.
That's them kids.
This is 30 years of in the educational field.
Oh,
30
congratulations.
Yeah,
Wow.
congratulations.
That's-
You're about to retire in a minute.
years. Nah, I still got a
Look,
little
they
ways
need
to
to say,
go. But yeah.
thank you for your services.
Yeah, thank you for your services.
And
Yeah.
it's been a ride.
Because it's real.
So I am a cosmetologist. I consider myself a master cosmetologist. I've been in the industry professionally over 28 years, you know, hustling the rest of the time. But it's been good. It's been a good life. Has its ups and downs. But it worked out for me, so I'm still doing it. But, you know, you meet a lot of different people, go different places, hear a lot of stories, you know, as in this career. But I wouldn't change it for the world, even though I tried to a couple of times.
But it didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out. And
But I think that's why, our black businesses, some are failing, some are doing well. But you have to be there. You go in one way, you come out the another way. You can go up or you come down. It
Yeah.
depends on how you treat your customers.
Yep. Customer service.
Yeah, so.
Customer
Well, I
service is
think
key.
that's why everybody loves coming to you. When they come here,
Oh.
it's like a living room. They could have a
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
here respectable. You could talk to them. People sometimes cry in your chair.
Yeah,
'cause
they
they're going
do.
through stuff.
They
so,
do. And you'd be surprised what a person is going through on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Some people just can't get it together, and when they come here, it's like woosah,
right.
you know.
Right.
And everybody say, you know, it's because I get them drunk. You know.
Well, that too. That too.
But that's a part of letting your hair down, right?
True. I think one of the biggest things also to piggyback off what my man over here said.
Mr. Hamza.
Mr. Heisman.
Mr. Hamza.
Heisman.
But also
Don't- just don't say it.
you cultivate friendships here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's because on this panel right here, like Jermaine and I have known each other since we were children. I mean, 5th grade, we became friends.
Right, right.
But wait, what's your name? It's not Jermaine.
Jamagni. Jamma Jean.
But I met these two through you.
Right.
You know, so it definitely built great relationships along the
Yeah.
way in this shop.
Yeah, thank you. I feel it's a connection, you know, at some point, it's a circle,
Right.
you know, because we meet good people through each other and then we become friends. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually met Sam through a friend of mine and we became good friends. And it's been 15 years, I think, right?
Well, I'm gonna tell the real story.
But,
I was dating a young lady, and she wanted me to pay for her hair, and I came and paid for the hair.
Okay,
her hairdo.
that's a gentleman move.
And I mean, from the time we exchanged, hey, how you doing? And I paid Jermaine, we was friends.
yeah.
So that's how that happened.
Instantly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Now that's a quick friendship right
Yeah.
there.
I know, because sometimes when no strings attached, it's easier.
Yeah.
When you looking for something, or because Sam is a handsome guy, and people have definitely misconstrued our relationship. He don't look good to me like that.
Right. You're not looking at him like that.
Right. I look
Yeah.
at him like, God
Strictly
bless,
platonic. Jay.
my
What's up,
brother.
Jay?
Right, Jay. He's talking about my husband, y'all. He had to come around.
Right.
He came around, Shit, we even took a trip together.
Yeah, Jay don't play that. He don't
Yeah,
play that.
Jay, he a Cancer, so he got that inner jealousy, like, like somebody came in the shop yesterday, the guy came in the shop yesterday,
right.
and he peeps his head and he goes, you do you color hair? I'm like, oh no, we don't service men. And my husband's sitting at the chair. He go, yeah, that's where they start. You come up here, they ask you, do you color hair? And then they start with something else. I'm like, so Jay, you gotta kind of tickle his fancy a little bit. But I love you, baby. So
Put a ring on it.
yeah. Yeah, but customer service is what I do a lot. I do it every day. It gets overwhelming and it gets tiring, and sometimes when you become like family and sisters and close to the clients, you bring it home, and you think about them, and sometimes you wake up the next day, hey, you good? Everything all right? So, it's hard to separate it when you become like a family and so close. But customer service and, customer service period, it's hard when you trying to deal with so many different people and so many different personalities, especially black people.
It is, because as for me in the corporate world, customer service is so hard because you gotta be on top of your game with them. You gotta be on top with the
vanilla
corporate world.
wafers?
Yes. So
Vanilla wafers are brown. Wait, what?
I'm serious. There's no sugar coating.
Vanilla pudding.
And vanilla pudding. I can't.
That's another name you could have used.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll go with the vanilla pudding.
So being there, because you could be like, oh, how I talk to you? I can't talk like I could talk that way, and I don't sugarcoat, and I don't change my ways on how I am at the corporate world. So that's why I guess they understand me and know me, but it's hard.
It is.
It's hard, and you gotta suck it up sometimes. It's like, oh, and it's not. I'm not being your friend.
Right. And like you say, especially in the corporate world, it's so different.
Like they tell me, it's a job.
It's a job. See.
Yeah. Well, there's no customer service. I wouldn't call it customer service in the educational field, but you do have to deal with parents.
Yeah.
I mean, your kids are your audience, but you really have to deal with the parents and let them know that you're there for their child and hope that they buy into your system. And I can say I've been blessed over these years. Out of all of these years that I've been in education, I could say 2 parents that I've truly had an issue with, or had an issue with me, I should say, because I didn't have any issue. They had the issue with me. But other than that, I've always had great parents.
Oh, good. That is
Looking
a
out for their
blessing.
kids, making sure they have what they need. So I have no complaints. And I know a lot of teachers probably can't say that, but I've had no complaints about the parents that I've endured over these last 29, 30 years.
And I can honestly say, I heard you say like maybe twice that your class was going to be something else this year. Like maybe twice out of all the years. Even when, like I've been invited to come to her school and speak.
Career day.
Career day.
Yeah.
And the kids were awesome. They were sweet.
Yeah, good
Miss
kids.
Hill, Miss Hill, Miss Hill.
Yeah.
It wasn't like unfortunately, some of these kids that call you by your first name and want to try to be in your conversations. When I was
they
in
try
there,
to be in the conversations though, but they
Wait,
are
what?
good kids.
Yeah, they were nosy
though.
They was a little
But
nosy.
they're good kids. And this year is exceptional because it's just a different group of kids. It's a really good group of kids I have this year.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
good.
different.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, Sam, you need customer service in your line too. You could tell them what you do if you choose to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a longshoreman, and we service the truck drivers.
Oh, money.
It's a crazy industry, but
Long
He got
love
that
it.
wide load.
I mean, for the most part, it's just production for us. You know what I'm saying? We have a time limit, so the truck driver don't be there all day.
Oh yeah.
And it looks good for our peer. For them to come back, for our peer to get business. You know what I'm saying? Because the export-import industry is up and down every day. Like, as far as Trump with the tariffs. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say, I heard that.
Me too,
Yeah.
the tariffs.
I heard
Yeah,
that there was
so-
a lot of trucks like waiting to be custom
Well,
reported when.
the tariffs, it's imports and exports. So, I mean, it's basically you're going to pay more to get what you used to
You ain't
buy
lying.
for less. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
that can be a damper for our wallets.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Not for
for
Dollar
my
Tree
wallets
to
too,
take
because
food.
we don't get, the less y'all order, the less we
Yeah.
work.
Right.
Right.
So, but
It's a trickle down effect.
it's a trickle down
Yeah.
effect. I think everybody gets affected.
Dollar Tree got affected because they closed a lot of stores.
Dollar Tree.
But that's where everybody gonna be shopping soon.
And they're gonna go up too. They're already at $1.25. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's always something being affected.
It is.
Now they talking about eggs having salmonella.
Oh, you see the eggs
saw that.
thing?
Seriously?
Is
Yeah.
it
saw
like
that.
they said that before though, right?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now
But
it's
eggs
another
are
one.
important protein.
But just
For-
like
Steak too.
they said, oh, we ain't having enough chicken wings, but you got thighs and legs and breasts.
Right.
Like,
Those
but
are
no
no
wings.
wings from the same chicken.
Right.
Yeah.
The chicken ain't
Right,
got a wing.
exactly.
The population,
on,
they
stop
can't keep up with the
Right.
demand of the
Like,
population.
seriously.
Chicken and the wings.
Wait, oh my God.
They was like this.
Sorry.
Oh my God. You can't get her going.
Oh God.
Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. Yeah.
But customer service is important to me. I've been a lot of places.
It is.
Just
Yeah.
dealing with even with contractors, you always try to, give black businesses a try. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You always try to, give your
But-
people a try.
But I'm gonna say this. But I try, and I'm gonna be honest. Me, hands down, I would support a black business
Yeah.
all the time. When we go to the festivals, I'm always trying to support. But when you try to overcharge me,
Right.
that's when it gets in the line. Like, okay, I'm
Well,
not
you know
spending
what
my
people
money.
gonna say. You don't
You gonna
complain
pay it
about
to the white man,
Macy's.
yeah.
You're gonna
You
pay it
don't
to the white
complain-
man. That's
yeah.
what people are gonna
No,
say.
but
But I
that's-
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
No.
definitely understand you.
That is ridiculous.
But sometimes I think you have to have an eye for quality.
And then also when you have in these restaurants say, "Oh, you don't come and support us," but don't give us no shitty service.
Exactly.
well, not,
And
not
don't charge me for no water.
right. Well,
And
not
don't charge me
no,
$13
See,
for
nah, yeah,
don't charge me
jeez.
$13 for what you call it when you do the champagne and mimosa.
Mimosa.
But
Charles House only charge
listen,
$1.25
have
first
the
and then
product.
afterwards.
Right.
Have the
You
product.
go to these certain restaurants and they're like, oh, we don't have this today. Or we don't have that today.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want to go because you're in the fear. You're fearing that they don't even have what you want on a daily basis.
Right.
It was a restaurant in Atlanta called Milk and Honey.
Oh yeah.
And we went there when y'all came to Atlanta.
Good
The
food.
food was so good.
Yes.
Black owned. Every time we would go to visit my daughter and my grandson, my husband and I would go there. Biscuits, good. We took the family there. Then we go back, it's closed.
Really?
No notice, no nothing, just closed. And I'm like,
Closed down.
closed down.
Oh.
Like they're no longer there.
We love that.
It was
wow.
so good.
A lot of times it be their
Good.
paperwork not in order.
It could be that too.
You know what I'm
could
saying?
Be that. Could be that. Could be that. I just didn't understand. I'm like, they was one of the best restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes that goes on your poverty mindset too, because sometimes people don't want to pay. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But people don't realize that you can't own a business, you can't create a business, you can't maintain a business with a poverty mindset. Because I'm not going to think when I increase my prices or what I charge, I feel I'm worth. So if I say, hey, for example, let's say I charge $100 for a wash and wrap. Okay, if you can't pay $100, then you can't look at the site. You can't be a client. But if I think like, Stephanie, she only work she only a teacher. And she only make $25,000 a year. Then do I base my prices off you making $25,000 a year as a teacher,
right.
or do I base my prices off, my rent is $3,000.
Right.
My clients, all of them have good jobs, thank God. Because by the way, every day I thank God for my clients, and I always pray that God keep them employed, because they're a blessing to me. I'm the reason why the clients are the reason why my doors stay open. And salon owners, let's keep it real. If it wasn't for your clients, we wouldn't be here. So going back to, my clients, I can't think about everybody's job when I come to work.
Right.
That's frustrating. But at the same time, I know what my customers do as a living. I know what they, I know, so I had to keep that in mind as well.
Right.
But also your work is quality.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
thank you,
Like
yeah.
you
So,
can't they can't go down the street here and get the same hairdo
That
or
they gonna
look
get in here.
Right.
that they're gonna
Right.
get in here.
Exactly.
You know.
Right.
And then it is also the quality of the products that you use. It's not like garbage. It's
Right.
not watered down or whatever. And
Right.
it's hair care.
Yeah. Thank you.
But then it's also I tried to start up something as far as crocheting, and I look at like, oh, maybe that's too much to charge them. But I see myself have to get out of that element and
Yeah.
say, okay, this is what I'm worth. This is how much time I'm
time.
Yeah,
spending.
time, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the cost.
And as a new business owner as well, you can see that it's not just about being a business. It's about time. It's about
Right.
quality.
That's the biggest
It's
thing.
about time management. It's about what
Right.
you put into your work. All that costs. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So people don't see that on the other side. They just see that for that beautiful cardigan that you made for me. Oh, she paid $200 for that? Yeah. She probably put
It took time.
10 hours into that.
You can't get time
You
back.
can't get time
Right.
back.
Time.
Along
Right.
with your regular life.
Right.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
New
Yeah.
grandmother. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congratulations.
No.
No.
That's all.
Nona King.
But I'm still waiting for my hat, by the way. Just to let
You
know.
got it. You got it.
She got a long list to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I just want people to know that, you get what you
Say
pay
no,
for. You getting is a part of giving.
Yes.
And, you put your
I
time
think-
into where you want to put your time into.
I think like
you
when
know?
black people go to other black businesses, they just automatically think they're supposed to get a discount.
Discount.
Yes,
I don't know what that is.
Right.
But I don't, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I just think like,
Yes.
But on the other hand too, when black people come to black businesses, they feel like you're supposed to accept their nonsense sometime as
Yeah.
well.
that's true.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
you're
true.
supposed to accept the fact.
Because you one of them.
Right, because
Yeah.
I'm one of you.
I'm your
it's
people.
okay.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
I won't
Yeah.
say the name of a restaurant, but one time my sister, she had a party at work, and she ordered some potato salad for the party. Okay, she went to the restaurant to pick up the potato salad. When she got there, they said, "Oh, we made a mistake and gave the potato salad to somebody else. Here, take the macaroni salad." You know, is that,
Wow.
do you do stuff like that? Like, no, that's not what she ordered.
That's not what
she
she
wanted
ordered.
potato salad,
Right,
but
right.
because we're black, they're a black-owned business,
supposed to take it.
and she's supposed to just be okay with taking this macaroni
Right.
and be okay with it. Like,
Right.
all right, I'll take that, no big deal.
Yeah.
And this is what they expect from us. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not saying all,
Right.
but I'm just saying some black businesses, because we're black, we're supposed to take the nonsense.
Yeah, it's like
behind
it's like just because we here, we supposed to understand. That's not
But it's
how
weird
it is all
though
the time.
because we would go to other ethnic businesses and accept the less from them and still go back and
in some cases,
No, because I don't. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
yeah,
me.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people, I see a lot
Right.
of people talk about
Yeah.
businesses and they go back, they complain all the time
will stop.
and
Go
still
back.
go and still go back
and I find that a lot
because
in,
of convenience.
I find it a lot in clothes, like retail. Like they'll complain that, let's say Neiman's is high, but then you'll go back. Or you complain the
Yeah.
customer service at Neiman's was
It's
ass and you'll
terrible,
go
but
back.
you
You
go
know what I'm
back,
saying?
yeah.
So I can see
that's-
that a lot
yeah,
in
they
that
do
too,
that
you know?
Right.
Because my thing is, I mean, even though it's just horrible, but if I go in the store, like say I go in the Nordstrom's and the customer service was butt, I just go in line and order it.
She one of them.
So you
I
talking
want
about
that.
yourself. You talking about yourself.
He
Okay.
won't
I said
Yeah,
personally, that's what I would do.
I'm glad
And I
you.
need to stop.
I'm glad you.
You know what I'm saying? But
Glad you called yourself
you
out.
ain't gonna
about
find it
that.
nowhere. You gotta get it from Nordstrom's. But Nordstrom's has been A-okay with me, I'm just saying, right? But y'all ever find yourself doing that? Like you go to say like you go to a
You're
shop
all
right,
alone.
But look, say like you go to a shop right and their strawberries look crazy. You go to a different shop right and buy the same strawberries because they look better.
Yeah,
Is that
but that's
Yeah,
not the
no.
same thing.
Yeah,
Shout out to all the farmers market. That's where we need to go.
no. That's what we need more.
Yeah, the farmers market, right? Shit, some of these stuff be
Exactly.
having worms in it.
Yeah, but they got farmers
But they
market
fresh.
here. They got it
Yeah,
right here.
Every Monday now.
Monday.
Yeah, every Monday.
Right across
Maplewood,
the
New
street
Jersey,
over
y'all
here,
got
yeah.
farmers market every Monday. So, I understand what you're saying. That's how I feel about Popeyes.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
You like Popeyes?
Well, I like their chicken sandwiches, but when I went to the
you
one,
was one of those.
I didn't like the customer service, so I went to the one over there by me, and I got a chicken
Well,
sandwich.
that's different because I mean it's Popeyes, but they owned by two different
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So
But I was
I'll
just
go,
saying
I'll
the
go to the
retail.
hood. I'll go in the hood.
Yo, the hood.
They be good.
White Castle on Ninth Avenue
Oh.
and White Castle on Elizabeth Avenue, right, Jess? They have the best. Right? Because it
they had the best.
make you gonna be on the toilet.
Don't be
Same
like
thing,
that.
but-
See, our people on part might own that one. I think.
Well, I think we the ones who made Popeyes who they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not
Yeah.
seeing that in certain neighborhoods. You're not finding Popeyes in certain neighborhoods.
Nope.
Well, just like they put
None.
the Popeyes, the Whitney Houston rest stop, and then there's another
Yeah.
one across the street.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Whitney Houston
Whitney
rest
Houston
stop,
restaurant,
Rest stop.
and then the one
And-
by Wawa.
and then the one by
122.
Wawa, which is less than.
Oh, it's a Popeyes in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, see, I didn't know it was
I
a
don't
Popeyes
like it.
in there.
They just
I
trying
just
to-
knew the Shake
I don't
Shack.
like
was
So
in
they
there,
try
right?
not to make you shop at Whitney Houston. Right?
Girl, it's a rest.
I don't know.
People,
No,
where the
I think
camera
they
at?
just
No,
trying to
I
get
think
the
it's
people
because
off the
she's-
highway,
Yeah.
and on
Yeah.
22 they trying
So
to get
it's
the
on,
people
it's
off
on the
22.
Parkway, and
Oh.
then 22
Right.
right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. because Whitney Houston closed early.
Oh,
rest
the
stop
rest
closed
Yeah,
early.
but how much
Yeah.
chicken they gonna feed us in that area? Like, what?
I'm surprised it's a Popeyes in there. to
But
be
wait, so the
honest.
McDonald's not there no more?
No.
No.
Wow, I haven't been there
Yeah.
No,
years.
it's Shake Shack.
Shake Shack?
Shake Shack and
Oh, I need to
Starbucks.
go there.
Oh my god.
You haven't been
I like
there yet?
Shake Shack.
I like Shake Shack.
They got
too.
smash
Yeah, I
burgers.
like Shake Shack.
Have good burgers.
Yeah, I like
Good
the
fries.
burgers.
It's expensive.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, how do y'all feel about blended families? As far as like, you know, going into a relationship with someone, that person has a child, and then you have a child.
I'm okay with it. I've done it. My husband now, this is my second marriage. Well, this is my first marriage. My first one wasn't a marriage, but my son was 3 months, my daughter was 11, and we have so much history. We have over 30 years of history. Till when we connected, it just became like, okay, like it felt right. You know what I'm saying? So I think as kids get older and as they start to realize certain things, they have questions. I think that's when it becomes hard. In my situation, but that just goes to the saying to keep people out your business. Keep people out your business.
Did you find it hard to have a relationship with the kid's mother?
At first,
Okay.
well, because again, he had a son too. His son was 3. And so I had a big part in help raising him with his mother, but it was hard at first.
Yeah.
You know, my son was 3 months at the time. My daughter was 11, so she understood more. My 3-month had no clue, of course, but his son was 3, so he was looking like, mommy. You know, he had 3 parents at this point. You know, so it was hard at first, but
Yeah.
then. You know, eventually she came around after a couple of years, you know, of the bull crap.
Yeah, but at least she came around.
She definitely came around.
Because sometimes it get awkward at like birthday parties
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
graduations.
Yeah.
And, you know, when
But you know, I feel she took the easy way out because she just left the state. So we had to like have my bonus boy some weekends, some holidays, you know, so it made it hard to like, while he was younger, to like attach, you know, that attachment. Because as soon as we became like bonded, he had to go.
it's time for him to go.
That's tough. That's
But he's
tough.
26 years old now, and it's like the best relationship. We go out, people think he's like my biological son. But you know, shout out to his mother, because I guess at some point she was like, well, you know what? She takes care of him. He don't complain about it. He loves her.
Right.
And to me, when you love your kid, you want to see them happy.
Right.
So that was kind of like a good thing. And then with my daughter, she loved my husband, and you know, it became a good thing. You know.
I think that's important though, because sometimes the relationship gets caught up between the two individuals. Like, you ain't with me.
Right.
I don't care about her
Right.
or him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So adults, they mess up their kid's life with the BS.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because like for instance, he's in Atlanta, right? He was in Atlanta, right?
He was in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he has fun when he comes to Jersey.
Right, he
Right.
does.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes parents can stop that.
Yeah.
And now, you know, he's thinking everything's not good on this side. Mm-hmm. Because what his mother or father
Yeah,
said.
like
you know what I'm
said,
saying?
yeah.
But I know it gets awkward, though.
It does get awkward. It gets awkward in the beginning. And I think in the beginning of anything, you know, like they have a saying, says it's 30 days to create a habit. So I think it gets awkward in anything new until you make it not awkward. But then you spend all your time. And shout out to my fathers out there. I love y'all. But sometimes
Father's Day
y'all
coming
just
up,
put-
by the way.
It's next weekend, right? Father's Day next weekend.
But y'all just leave everything for us to do.
Right.
Like, y'all put everything on us. Baby mama don't want to talk to you. Oh, text her back. Baby mama calling. Oh, I don't answer the phone. Nah, nigga, answer the phone. This your baby mama. You take care of this. I should be clear and clean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless y'all develop a relationship.
Right.
Which is what we actually did. We
Well,
developed
yeah.
a relationship.
And it became better.
It became so much better. You know,
But
you're
that's
talking 20 some odd years later, because now he's 26 and I've been in his life since he was 3.
Well,
So
once you get past that, we're not together anymore.
Right.
And I don't
Right.
care who you
Yeah.
date anymore.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, it's like you don't even really want the person, but it's like
You don't want nobody else to have
right,
it.
Right.
You know.
yeah.
So once you get past that stage,
Mm-hmm.
it could work. I think.
Basically,
And
once they
it's
get past,
obvious
I
'cause
don't
it
want
worked
you
with
no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's when everything
Right.
is
That.
So D wasn't that bad with our daughter because I think he's such a mild mannered person now. I think life has caused him to be so mild mannered that he worries about just what he needs to worry about. So as long as our daughter was good, as long as he was good to our daughter, he was fine with that. And it didn't matter whether I liked him or not. It didn't matter whether we was beefing or not.
Right.
As long as his daughter was good, then he was good. As long as he can call and speak to him, or call to have a conversation with him, and call and make sure everything was okay with her, then he was fine. So I'm thankful because of that.
It's funny because I had a different effect with my middle son, and his dad was like, "Oh, he doesn't need another dad. It's not about him needing another dad. You are his dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is who his mom is with, and as long as you in that child life and you taking care of him, you shouldn't even worry about this person.
Right.
But on the other hand, how I see it is, he's going to respect this man because he's in the household. He's paying these bills. So he's going to respect him regardless. And he's teaching your son how to become a man. So you should respect that man as well.
Right.
So
And
it
why
was,
they don't see it like that?
I don't know. And it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Sam, why don't men see stuff in our realm? You know what I'm saying? Why they have to look out the box?
It's a lot of things. I mean, some of it is, maturity.
Yeah.
Some of it is we still have feelings, and we hate to see another man with somebody who we made a kid with. So, and then some of us see, our child's mother as a property.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I never thought about that.
yeah,
That's those
You don't own
controlling
me.
freaks.
Right.
Them doesn't want to control every little thing. Like, you can't control everything.
If this female moved on, you move on.
Right.
She don't want you. She don't want to be bothered. Just take care of what you had. Take care of that child. That's it.
But Key, we know that sometimes these men, they want their cake and ice cream and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? So they could have really moved on, living with a person, chilling with them,
Yeah,
but
'cause
still
I've
at the
seen
same
that.
time
I've seen that.
trying to worry about what you doing over here. That's
yeah,
why
because that's an urban myth. I think, like, you can still, have
No, I don't
intimacy
know.
with your
Absolutely
with your
not.
child's mother.
Explain
I'm just
that.
saying.
if they let them, if they.
Listen, I don't have any kids, but I've heard that from my friends who do have kids.
So the girl allowed them to come back and forth, even
Yes,
if they with
yeah.
somebody
That
else.
is true.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Some of them I had. Some,
I know people like that too.
I've definitely seen
I've
that.
seen
Yeah,
that.
so, I mean-
I personally know them. But I think that has a lot to do with the female too. Maybe they wasn't ready to let go. Maybe the situation wasn't them letting go, him letting go. And I also think it's a what's the word? It's the ego thing.
Yeah, ego. Well,
Let me see how much I can get
When
from
you're dealing
him
with
when I
males,
get you
it's
with-
definitely an ego.
You know what I'm
So it's
saying?
an ego thing.
So,
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you would say, you know what? I know he with her, but guess what?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like one of them things. We all been there.
playing the game.
Nah.
We playing the game.
Playing a little childish 1995 game.
Let me
It
get.
happens. But then you grow up.
And you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by then the kids are older, so it's less things.
It's less.
It depends on like the parents, but it's like who gonna pay for the prom card, like stuff
Right.
like that. Who
Right.
gonna pay for this?
Right.
Who gonna pay for care?
Deeper stuff.
Yeah, deeper
Deeper.
stuff. So you ain't got time. You just talk about money.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So-
right.
Yeah.
But you say you don't have any kids. I know that your significant other has kids.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that roll into you not having kids, them being practically grown and a teenager, I believe, right? At the time?
Yeah, teenagers and grown-ups. But what helped I mean, having no kids helps me in that situation because I don't really care about the kids. You know what I'm saying?
You care about the
No,
kids.
no, I don't because you know what I'm saying. Their fathers is still living,
Okay.
so I'm not there to be a father. I'm there to be a boyfriend.
But they were older too.
Yeah, they was
They
older
were
too,
older,
but I
so
still don't be
that's
like,
playing
you know, the
But
kids
some
don't
men
like
don't,
me, so what?
Some men don't have that mentality like you.
Yeah, I don't. Really,
You just in there being a kid.
you know what I'm saying? They don't like me.
so
I
what?
just
You
No.
say so what?
I
You
just-
say so what?
yeah.
No, I think it's with him is because the kids were older. If they were little kids, smaller
Yeah.
kids, you might have a different mindset about that.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a little petty. I get them back by going to the refrigerator late at night when they see me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think, because they be hate. You know, they
See,
they
that
don't
got a lot
like
to
me.
do with men being mature.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be like, you know what? Look at me now. I'm drinking some of your Hawaiian punch. You know?
Or your chocolate milk.
Yeah, like you know. But nah, like I think like for me, it's just was like, you know, you can't gauge these kids now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then you come into a situation that you don't know what type of relationship the kids have with their father. So you know, I pretty much play it safe. I just, you know, I try to be respectful.
Yeah.
You know, but I also make sure the female knows that the child is going to respect me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the most important. Like, you're not going to be talking to me any type of way, or you ain't going to be saying, well, my daddy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but,
Yeah.
you know, I think, like, you have to have, like, with your school teacher, you know, school system, I think you have to have, like, a certain touch with kids.
Yeah,
do.
definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That applies to who you are as a person.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but, still, fuck them kids.
Sam is a mess.
I think you know, I think going into relationships like that, like what you were saying, sometimes people feel you desensitized. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because you don't have any kids, because you don't know how it is to raise, because you don't know how it is. Sometimes you can desensitize yourself, and then it puts a lot on the person you with. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I won't say I'm that desensitized because you know, I have nieces and nephews.
Okay,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? So,
okay.
you know, I'm very much in their
You
lives.
are very much.
Yeah.
Even on Father's Day, I call or text you
Right,
and say
right.
Happy Father's Day because from the time I know him, he was always in his niece and nephew, your sister's
My sister kids, yeah,
kids
yeah.
that I know about. He was always in their lives, like games. I mean,
Trips,
one time I was like, Sam, you want to
vacations.
do whatever?
Right.
He was like, Nah, I gotta go to this game.
Right.
You know,
Right,
and he got I think it was baseball, right? Or
Football.
football. Yeah, I gotta go to the football game. So
Right,
he was
right.
very much into it. So even to this day, I text him, "Hey, Happy Father's Day," even
Yeah.
though you know.
That's
But
what
I think
uncles-
the father
sometimes
doesn't.
I think sometimes you could gauge the kid too. You can see the kid be like, nah, he ain't gonna like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you know
They
how the
older.
relationship is gonna be.
Yeah.
But you know, again, it falls back to the person I'm dating. They have to be a parent and make sure their kids are respectable. Like, you know, because you're not gonna get liked by every kid.
Right.
It's not gonna
Right.
happen.
Right. Right.
But as
right.
long as there is a respect there, I
Right.
think the relationship could blossom, you know,
Yeah.
into something different. you
Because
know?
I can say that because my son, his father's deceased, but he do not smile at no one. But I'm not gonna be honest. I don't bring nobody around him because of that reason. But then if you have that one person that you really
You
like
like,
it,
yeah.
and you start bringing them around, and it's like he just shut down. And I'm
Well,
all
he's
like,
also your protector too.
he is.
So
Yeah,
so
he
that's
is.
a lot of
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
That's a lot of that.
yeah.
But I think, you know, some kids who have the sense to say, my mother's happy, let me just chill. You know what I'm saying? If that's the
He don't say anything.
right, he
just
don't say
like-
anything. But as long as you happy, you know, that could be a positive influence on him. He
yeah.
doesn't have to like him,
Right.
but he has to tolerate him and respect him.
Right. Right.
So,
So do you think it would be safe to say, like, as long as she's happy, he's not saying anything? But the minute something happens where he sees that she's unhappy, then it's like I ain't never like him anyway.
Right.
You know
Well,
what I'm
you
saying?
gonna get that. You gonna-
You gonna kick me out now, man?
Yeah, you gonna get that.
No, yeah. So it's
That's why
hard.
you gotta know your kids too.
Yeah.
You know.
Because parents
You gotta
will
know your
choose a
kids.
relationship
Yeah.
over,
Over
their
their
children.
kids.
They
I
will
did
do
not.
it.
My
They
son,
will
my
do
middle
it.
son, did not like.
Right.
But I had to talk to him like, you got to gain that relationship, not me. So, he started gaining that relationship with them, and they became the best friends.
Now, what do you think is harder, boys or girls?
Boys.
Boys,
Okay.
Boys.
hands down, boys. Right,
Boys.
Jess? What you think?
No.
Girls.
No, I would say. Well, you know what? My
5 boys.
how many girls
Oh,
you
the
have?
5 boys.
Well, that's why.
So I
You
thought
already got
boys
the
are hard.
mentality of
'Cause my
five
2 boys is the
boys.
same. They did not like the other. Like my daughter, love.
Yeah, my
Love,
daughter
love.
did too. My daughter was easy.
Yeah.
You know what? My daughter is very easy. She's mild mannered. She's she takes it as it goes as long as it doesn't affect her, as long as it doesn't
Or hurt anyone.
or hurt. You know what I'm saying?
So she's protective of you.
She's
Yeah.
she's
Right.
more of a protector, and I think from early on she had a nurturing spirit,
yourself.
like even to this day, like because she always had little siblings, like 3-month-old. Then her sisters were like 3 and 6, So she was always like that big sister. So I think with her it was just like, okay, let me just sit back and see what's going on, and then if it don't feel right, then I'll say something. That's the type of person she is.
Yeah.
But my son,
Them boys something else.
they grow into their own person.
I think the boys, because they're mama boys, they protect their moms.
They are
That's
mama
what it
boys.
is.
It's the
those mama
children
boys.
today,
Yeah.
though. It's
Yeah.
the children today
Yeah.
are different.
Yeah.
But
They are
we'll
different.
get on that in another
Yeah.
show. But the children
Yeah.
today are just
They
different.
are different.
They're
Yeah.
very different.
And I'm not even saying that in a good way. Like they are different, and none like the way we were coming up.
But I think that falls into being brought up how you are in the household.
Right.
Your environment.
The
definitely.
parents,
The
the parents
environment.
played a part.
Yeah.
parents
Because
definitely-
number one, we want them to have everything we didn't have,
Yeah,
so we make
which
sure
is
they have.
mistake
And
number
so
one.
they're entitled. I mean, but like I said, that's another topic. But
Yeah.
they're very
Enablers.
entitled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
fear the unknown.
right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
where you start fearing the unknown because you don't know what's going to happen when you get into another relationship with somebody else, woman or man. You don't know how the kids are going to react. You don't know,
Right.
what they're going to come to you because, if they're my kids, they're going to come to me and
Right.
say what's wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it's like, damn, like, I know this is a good woman. I know this is a good man.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You're definitely not choosing.
Right.
But you're going to come up with ways that you can say, okay, look, give this a chance, give that a chance, and then let's see. You can't just because the kids come to you and say, oh, I don't like him. Oh, I don't like her, and say, you know what, you got to leave. Oh, no, it ain't gonna work. No, because your kids are so used to you as a one parent. Then when somebody else comes in, or not even a one parent, just you. And then when somebody else comes into your life, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I just think it's the fear of the unknown with the kid, because
You don't
to
know how
them
they
it's
gonna
not
react.
it's not like mommy happy. It's like dad, somebody else in my
it's
time.
here,
Somebody
right,
else,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not gonna be on me all the time now. The
And
tension
they're going
is
to react
off.
to that.
They react.
They can react
They
to
really
that.
do
And then
react.
it's going to cause a problem in your relationship.
It will.
Right.
It will.
Definitely.
It will.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
It's always
But that's what I'm saying. The parent has to know how to reel that in.
Right.
And get the kid back on track. and
Right.
Understand. But that goes with, you start doing things with your mate and the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
Breaking them up.
Yeah.
You got to bond that
And
bond.
not instead of like, women be like, babysitter out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
sometimes
true.
you can have
Right.
these immature men. Like I don't give
And
a F
women.
if they don't like. Okay, both
Yeah.
parties.
Right.
I don't care if they don't like me. I ain't here for them. Like I ain't their
Right.
daddy.
Well, I mean,
I ain't
that's
their
kind-
mama.
That's
Right.
kind
You know?
of what he just said.
That's definitely what you just said.
Get up out of them kids. Right. Again, but it's
That's just my belief. Nobody.
kids were older. They were older. They weren't little kids.
And as you get into the relationship, sometimes you don't even know.
Sam, they can be 2 years old.
I don't care.
But sometimes you don't even know the other. Like sometimes you be in a relationship, you don't know how that man is or that woman is. Like, she's just cracking up.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sam,
it's
Santa
for me
said
though
two
because
at 2.
listen, I don't care about that.
yeah.
Like I said, babysit in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like a lot of times, you know, like for me, it was sometimes hard because, you know, I'm used to going, just getting up and go. Then when you date somebody with a kid,
It's not that
it's
simple.
not that simple,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
have to be, you know, sympathetic
Yeah.
to that situation. You
Yeah.
can't be like, well, I don't want to take him or her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can't say
yeah.
that, but it's hard for somebody to be like, all right, well, I guess let's go to Fun Zone, have them play a little bit, then we go out to eat, and that's when y'all can have y'all, you know, little drinks or whatever while
Yeah.
they, you know what I'm saying? So you have to get creative too.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You do. And that's a part of acceptance too, you
Yeah.
know. Because sometimes when they don't when they don't accept it, it's so hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Blended
It is.
families, step families, you know, it's hard because you know when you're younger and you're, you know, you're impressionate. When you have one person in this ear, one person, you know, you're impressionable. Excuse me,
Right.
I made up that word, impressionable.
I know what you meant.
But you know what I meant, right?
Yeah.
But when you're impressionable, you know, and you have your grandmother in one ear, and then your other grandmother in one ear, and then they're like, you know, personally, like, you know, speaking from a personal point of view, a personal situation, you know, my little one had no idea that my husband wasn't his father. Didn't treat him any different. Same as his. They went together. He was calling him dad. You know, it wasn't until something unfortunate happened that to this day I really regret that happened. That he was informed that wasn't his real father. That killed the both of us.
Yeah, that must hurt.
It hurt so bad, and then you can tell that the whole dynamic changed
After that.
after that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a good thing, and it's not a good thing to live through. But you know, you pray and you ask God for restoration, and you just ask God to let, you know, things don't have to be like they were, but
Right.
kind of, you know, you want them kind of back to the same way it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
How would you have handled it differently, though? Like, you're saying it was a situation that he found out. Would you have ever told him? Like, how would you have handled that?
As far as him finding out who his real dad was, or when that situation happened.
Like, if that situation never happened and he just continued to believe, or it was his father. I mean,
Right.
it's still his dad.
Still his dad,
But
right.
if he continued to not know that that wasn't his father, like, how would you have handled that? Would you have let it keep going that way?
I definitely would have let it kept going that way until he turned the age where I felt that he could handle it.
Okay.
Because eventually, in a lot of situations, sometimes you can, well, okay, in 50% of situations, I don't know the statistics of when people can really see that they're not their father, or they're not their mother, or they're not their real siblings. Jess, if you can pick that up for us. But in my situation, I feel like, you know, he would have clearly known that wasn't his father. So I'm quite sure that he would have had questions later. You know what I'm saying? But the questions probably would have never come until he was introduced to something. If he was never introduced to it, then I don't think that, I probably wouldn't even, you know what? I probably wouldn't even said nothing. I would have let that been something
Let
that
him
he
just
came to me
run.
with. You know what I'm saying? Because now that I see how it affects certain things, I would have probably never even came to him with it.
Okay.
I probably never would have.
I love blended families. I'm
It
from
can be a
blended-
great thing.
I'm from a blended family.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
I think we all are, right?
Yeah,
Just-
summertime I
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to my biological dad's in down south, and you know my stepdad,
Right.
his family in Philly. It's not even like step. it's my
Yeah,
father.
father.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or my family, or my
Yeah.
cousin,
Yeah.
my brother. I don't do step and this and that. But it's a good thing because you learn different things
Yeah.
from each family, in which it built me up. It built character in me, as far as things that I know, like we don't do here in Jersey, but they do down in down south. You know what I'm saying? So and now you learn a lot, and I hope that, and I wish that I had, put that instill that in my kids, because all they know is Jersey.
Yeah.
So when they go down south, it's like, it's
Right,
boring.
right,
No, it's
yeah.
not. You
Yeah,
got to
it's
do
not.
things. It's a lot of things to do. So
And these days they don't play with each other. Like back then, we would be playing with each other. We
Kids
would
are
be outside
different.
making up
Kids
our
are
own
different.
games.
Yeah.
I told you, that's
You know
another,
what I'm saying?
that's another topic.
Yeah,
Kids
they are different.
They're different today.
It's like even with my grandson, sometimes I'm like, won't you just go outside and interact with the other kids? You're like, oh, I don't know them. Oh, I don't know the
Yeah,
kids.
he got so many hang-ups.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't. And I guess that has a lot to do with, when you're trying to build relationships with them too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, I don't know.
relationships is hard because
Relationships
you
are hard.
don't know the person. Like somebody could be, like you don't know a man or a woman could be abusive to you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know that until later on down the line. It could be 10 years from now. You could be in that relationship, and like say I could come to you. You'll never know I was in an abusive relationship. I wasn't in an abusive relationship. But I'm just saying that's just an example.
But let me ask you a question. So, as going into a relationship as a blended family, if you knew that your father was like just being mean to you, doing something to you that you didn't like, but you see that your mother is so happy, would you had to come to your mother with that situation, even though you see her happy, this is the man she loves, but he's not doing. It's just something just doesn't seem right. Would you have went to your mother about that, or
I probably would have went to my dad, my biological dad.
your biological
Yes.
dad? Okay.
So you wanted to start some trouble.
No, it's not even being about because okay, you could look at it because my mom is in a relationship. Say my mom is in a relationship with my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
That will cause a conflict there, and I don't want to conflict that. But as going to an adult and let
Yeah.
the adult handle it, because I'm just
Okay.
a kid.
Okay. But again, so that's why I was asking, because sometimes
It's gonna be conflict anyway.
Regardless, it's going to be a
Yeah.
conflict.
it's definitely going to be a conflict. But I guess that depends on how strong the woman is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you have a weak woman that you want a man over your child,
Yes.
then you really ain't gonna dig into it. Like I've seen plenty of shows, and I know plenty of people that don't want to dig into it because they don't want their situation to change.
Right.
They may not have to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The father takes care of them, so
Right.
they're not going into that. They're like, look,
They don't want to
let's
lose
try
out.
to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, which leaves the kids damaged.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
It's
I don't understand. I mean, well, it's not for me to understand because everybody has their own.
It is because that's why the
Mindset.
kids nowadays say, and I always say it. Let's break that
Yeah.
tradition. Or what's the word? Let's break that.
What's that?
Generational.
Generational curse.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Like I didn't want my kids to grow up the way I did. Even though it was good, we had a good life, but I wanted to give them more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel that in a relationship with our parents, they took on, because them men back in the 70s and
Off the hook.
80s, they
Off the
took care of
hook.
the women.
Yeah.
But on the
They
other
made a
hand,
bunch of babies on them, jokers.
yeah, and on the other hand, some of them were abused as well.
They took care of the household.
They took care of the
the
household.
household,
Yes,
right.
they did.
Yeah.
Because you can be a great father, but not a great husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You be a provider.
That's what they
Yeah.
were. But they were tearing them women up.
He was.
Okay,
You know, I know your mother want to be with me.
Yeah, your mother want to be with me, so y'all gonna have the problem.
Y'all
Because
got
at
to
the end
get
of the
over it.
day, we gonna be old and them kids gonna be gone.
14 years later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
going on with their lives.
And that's what
Yeah.
I think about.
Yeah.
You know what
they
I'm saying?
going, yeah. That's why even when kids go like to college and you have grown kids that go to college, like it's so important to like your me. You don't even gotta
Right.
love them jokers. but you gotta like them enough to want to be around them and be in their presence. You know what I'm saying? So when you're home, when you have the empty nesters, then you ain't gotta worry about like what y'all conversation's gonna be, because it ain't gonna be about the kids.
but-
They ain't gonna be there.
Right.
Wasn't that crazy how after COVID people realized they ain't want to be with
Yo,
their man?
that was crazy.
It was
Yeah.
they said it was 50%
crazy.
divorces.
The
Was
Yeah.
rates was
50%.
Because they were
Crazy.
with him so much.
So
They were with
yeah,
him so much.
because you didn't realize you didn't have a life outside of this.
Yeah.
Like it was really all about the kids. It was really all about, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't all
Yeah,
about
It's a
y'all.
y'all.
household. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, COVID was like, I had a conversation with a guy not too long ago. He was like, yeah, well, after COVID, me and my partner, we split. We realized I couldn't
That's
do
what
it.
hap- That's all that money y'all was getting. Y'all wasn't getting no.
But that's why they say you should be friends first.
You should be friends
You should
first.
always be friends. So that's what I look
Yeah,
at. I want
yeah.
to be your friend.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
you gotta have that instant friendship, dating relationship too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because you're still interested in the person.
yeah.
So you just can't put them in the friend zone.
Right. Right.
But you
Yeah.
still have to develop that friendship,
Right.
yeah.
chemistry in the relationship. So
Somebody you could be open with, because sometimes you like, oh, I'm not telling him this, or I'm not telling him that.
Right,
but
right.
if I could be open to you and tell you this, that,
Yeah.
and the other, like I'm open to
once
my
once she
friends.
fart around you, then y'all good.
Then you know you're
That's-
good. Yeah.
He said once you left the bathroom door open and was like on the
Oh,
toilet.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I can't close the
So
door. I
that's
just
easy
can't
for
close
you.
it.
Once
That's
you
easy.
once you
in
see
that
her with that
beginning.
wig off, that's. I was making everybody mad. My niece left for the 8th grade dance, and you know people came, so it started raining. So when it stopped raining, I was like, "All right, everybody with the weaves, y'all can come back outside." Like they was mad.
You just be saying whatever.
That's a shame.
But that's, I was looking at everybody, you know, everybody, my my little
Oh,
cousins,
my
and, my
God.
sister friends. I was like, everybody with the weaves, y'all can come back out now.
Yeah,
Well, I
that
got
was
short
quick.
hair, and I don't get my hair wet.
I can't.
We gotta talk
Mine
about
is-
that, too.
It was like a ball.
Why do black women why they don't get in the pool or work out because of their hair?
Cause we got perms.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I
I
know.
get in the pool.
I know. I'm
You get in the
saying
pool
that's
with braids. You
that's
don't
a
get in the pool
myth
without
though. That's,
with your regular hair. Cause it'll
No.
mess up.
No, but that's real simple.
Yeah.
Oh, my hair gonna get messed
It's
up.
gonna
That's
mess up.
simple. Either a weave or some braids. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
in it
can't.
all day.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's the thing though.
Because you pay a lot.
You pay a lot for your hair. And
Time
then,
is time.
and then you want to look
It's
good.
time.
You
You
want,
go on
that
vacation,
is an
get
investment.
braids.
Yeah, but some
Stop
of these
it.
people be taking your hair out with them braids.
But that's why that's why I say I be like, every time you go get that weave,
Yeah.
it look good for the first 4 or 5 days. Then after that, it's like you can't go outside hot. The humidity fuck it up. Cause it be like weave afro, you know. Nope. Please don't play that part.
It's okay.
Please don't play that. Edit that.
We good.
So, I want to say that being passionate about something is infectious. Once you're passionate about something, once you have a strong passion about something, it shows your interest. It shows you making yourself feel excited and amping yourself up for things. And pass it on, because it's so good to pass on good. It's easy to pass on evil, but it's good to pass on good. Did y'all see the movie Sinners?
No.
No, I ain't catch
Oh
that yet.
my goodness.
We not talking about that.
We watched it last night.
Oh, you did?
Ooh, yeah, because Tyke had us watching it. So we was sitting there and we were watching it, and we could not stop watching it. It was really good. Personally, I wouldn't watch it at night if you're scared of vampires.
I would
But
never watch
if you're
it.
not scared of vampires, true vampires, just watch it during the day. But it's a meaningful movie, and it just goes to show you how the forces are still to this day exist. So I don't want to put too much out of it, but it just shows you how the evil and good forces out there still exist, and that if you don't have a strong mind, that you will definitely be galloped right into it. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad, you will. But it was so good talking to my friends today. It's always good talking to my friends. We may not talk every day, but we talk just enough to make sure we're okay. And if we don't hear from each other, we make sure we hear from each other. So this was good, getting to hear different views and different experiences, today with each and every one of them and myself, of course. But tune into our podcast, Three Girls and a Friend
And
podcast.
a friend podcast.
We're going to be on Facebook. Follow us, Three Girls and a Friend podcast on Facebook. If you want to follow me on my salon, I'm Girlfriends in Maplewood. You can follow me at Girlfriends on Instagram, Girlfriends Hair on TikTok and Facebook as well. And hopefully you got a lot of it. It's going to be more to come. And I'll definitely see you soon. Hopefully.
You need something crocheted? Crochet _ by Keisha. That's KISHA on Instagram.
Okay. You can find me right here. Right here. Three Girls and a Friend podcast. Right here.
Me too. Exclusive. Sam I am. Right here.
Sam I am.
Sam I am. Green eggs and ham.
And our producer Jess. Oh man, she's just the best.
Just big up to Jazz.
Big up. And we will definitely see you soon. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Deuce. That was good.
Yeah, I'm good.